Hi there, Lisa Jackson here with Culture Pros. Today's video, I'm going to talk about 3 essential balancing forces that an organization needs to get right in order to sustain growth, high performance, and lead change. So these 3 balancing forces are a lot like the 3 legs of a stool. If one is missing, if one is compromised, if one is not as strong as the other, then the business doesn't function optimally. Let's just review what they are. So the 3 forces are strategy. Strategy is defined in our world as how you win in your market against your competition. Culture is how we work, collaborate, and learn across the business to serve our customers better. And leadership is the 3rd balancing force. And leadership obviously is the glue that holds all of this together, but it's also the degree to which every manager in the organization establishes the tone and the habits that lead to excellence or to high performance. So this idea of culture is one element of an interconnected set of activities that produce business change and growth. It's been the core of our approach for over 20 years. And it's because when we've been asked to help leaders address culture change, so maybe there's been a merger or there's facing a turnaround situation, or maybe another big change we've worked with is an agile transformation. We start with the premise that culture has to be aligned to the business strategy and goals, not invented or falsely created as if it's a separate entity, or a new CEO comes in and they'll be like, well, we need to change the culture here. And our first question is why? To what end? And that's something that may seem obvious, but it's actually pretty important that to most leaders that they put their fingerprints on a culture, and sometimes lose sight of really what you're trying to do is align the culture to the business direction, to the business needs, and create the kind of culture in which the business strategy and the leadership that you want in place to lead that strategy can thrive and succeed. The problem is that a lot of organizations, these 3 elements are managed separately by the executive team. So you may have separate sessions where you talk about strategy, but culture isn't really talked about. You might have a leadership succession planning meeting, but you're not really including these topics around it of strategy and culture with it. So also, each of these are often executed by completely different departments. So this is like separating the brain and the soul in a human from the body. An organization is a system, and the various needs for it to operate smoothly just can't interact effectively unless you treat them as one whole system. So you can isolate a piece of the system and you can tend to that piece of the system as if a part of a manufacturing line is broken down. You've got to figure out where. That's a mechanical model. But when an organic model, which is a living, breathing model, and that is what an organization is, it's a lot harder to isolate one little piece of something, fix it, and then assume that everything else is working. So, and culture, of course, has the added challenge of being invisible much of the time, sort of like wind, it's there, but it's always operating, even in a virtual world with a remote workforce. You're going to have a cultural tone and a way that people, again, work, collaborate, and learn across the business in order to serve customers better. So here we are entering a new year, a lot of uncertainty still in the way that business is done, and with COVID. This is the perfect time to foster business conversations that address how will we evolve this year in all 3 of these balancing forces. So that's why we created a free Action Planning Toolkit 2021. This offers step-by-step guidance on how to facilitate this process in your organization, including the ability to cascade this to every level and department. This has been proven in many implementations with our own clients, and it always creates this really positive buzz and energy and leads to greater alignment across the organization. So I hope that you enjoy this toolkit. I hope that you find it valuable for your planning efforts for 2021 and to kick off the new year on the right start. To get your download, just simply click the button below this video, and that should open up a page where you can download the toolkit in PDF form. Thanks for listening today. Hope you're having a great week, and we'll see you the next time.